brain that there could be yet another player coming from that direction. Thought he had cleared that flank angle well enough. But instead, it was not the case. Torneko there, just again, phenomenal patience, waiting for Darion to leave, to pick up his utility, to move over into that push.
Shots flying through, Yoshi trying to stop them from getting themselves forward into the C site. Takes quite a bit of damage, but still puts Neff down to about 30. Hunter's Fury out from Crystal, however, finds Neff. The Rolling Thunder again, not going to be able to come into play in this round. Torneko just hovering still here in the backside. Juicy now on the push. The instant headshot comes in. And so far, it's looking fairly flawless. Scary will be able to bring one back. Torneko gone, but again, does get tagged up in the process. With 4 members left, the spike stuck right at the edge of the garage. Makes it so difficult to try to recover this one, especially now that Darion's gone. Everything for Scary to do once more. Will be able to pick up the spike. What more can he find?
Has his ult. Yep. There you go. That's the only option here. And Scary, heroics abound so far in this event for him in front of his hometown crowd. And if he can do it here, folks, this place.
Well, the roof is going to get blown off.
Yes.
Spike planted.
They were crazy yesterday.
It's a hell of a lot to try to isolate with very limited utility. The paranoia also gone. Does hold on to one smoke. But again, checking from behind. Wants to make sure that there's not going to be any flank coming through. Not seeing anything. Does he just stay here? How does he pilot this? 3-man move up into heaven. The drop down, just eating some fall damage. We'll see if that comes into play. Scary still just looks like the call comes in for him to save. Want to have at least that one rifle. It's just too much to try to do. Yoshi will survive the round with 1 HP. Carrying that gun forward, further stacking up some cash as Scars now are 3 rounds away from tying this up once more.
4 in a row. Still no Rolling Thunder able to be used. Crystal here finding that pick to prevent that big ult from coming into play in that round. And now things start to get very, very scary for Bleed. And I don't mean the player. I mean in terms of their mental here. Absolutely going to be a little bit rough to try to come back on this. And let's see what the coaches want to do. It is going to be Bleed's for realsies timeout this go around.
And I'm sure Scar's not going to be minding that too much. A little bit of extra time to go in, discuss, keep spirits high, make sure that they're still going to be able to ride this wave of momentum. But for Bleed, they want to bring that to a staggering halt. Not happy with how close they've been able to make this one after that 9-3 initial half. And I posed the question. We saw the 2 runbacks yesterday. The 9-3 curse striking twice in the semifinals. Is it happening again? Still have to wait and find out, but Bleed coming back through. We'll see what they can get done. That Rolling Thunder still sat there. Neff not being able to utilize it whatsoever so far.
Yeah, and it almost feels like you have to just kind of, you're having even a tough time getting to the sites for the side of Bleed. So that Rolling Thunder may just have to be kind of a fast hit somewhere where you're able to just clear sight, try to get a plant down, try to avoid this lockdown from Yoshi, from Scars. Just try to play deep post plant potentially. They do have enough come through with that buy for Bleed, but after this round, only Crazy Guy sitting on any money to speak of. So a challenging one here as Bleed is continuing to spread the map, take their time, another push out
Look
from
Torneko again.
Yep, exactly, Achilleos.
Tucked away against the wall. Do they read this? How patient is he going to be? Pretty damn patient so far. There's 2 juicy targets. Crazy Guy and Neff gone. He's going to be looking for more. Nearly gets juicy for that matter. Scary now just going to be sat in the corner once again, hoping that he can save this weapon so that they can have, maybe 2 hero rifles going into the next round where everybody else is just going to be working with pistols. And you can see they're willing to give him as much space as he wants.
Yeah,
here's the C site. Take it.
You have it. We don't want any of this. You don't want to even give Scary the hope, the opportunity to pull off that 1v4.
What a complete undoing of the game planning here from Bleed. Torneko just steadily walking forward, gets in there, shows the perfect amount of patience. I thought perhaps a TP out after the second kill, but goes for a little bit more. But at the end of the day, the guy's got money. His teammates have money. He can play a little bit more greedily to try to find that kill.
Well, and it's not the first time he's done it, and it hadn't been identified by Bleed until now.
Yeah.
Now they know for sure. It should have been probably talked about in a timeout, but it wasn't, and it's left unchecked, and a bit of a mental mistake. As good as Bleed's mental communication, all that stuff was in the first half of this map, here on the attacker side, it is a bit of a different affair as Scars is now taken over, and it is their map, it seems like, to potentially lose.
2 more to go. Absolutely gorgeous from him. Jemkin getting very quickly involved, finishing off Juicy, who had, what, 8 HP remaining. So it was nearly that triple kill coming through for Torneko.
So it's hit and fades from Jemkin, man. He's so good at it.
Okay, full loss bonus. Actually not that bad. Juicy as well, getting the blades online.
Get out of my way.
Push in, there's a jiggle peek. Jemkin immediately playing respectfully from Recon Dart landing at his feet. Does get the ping out on the Allen of all people. Way out into the back. Looks like they'll jump up into the window. They're going to cut across and take this back over towards A. Jemkin going to be peeking, sees nothing. The drone should be noted, should be heard, and the call to rotate should be made, especially as that smoke comes in. But right as it's blooming, I believe, Crystal just gets the headshot. That's the entry power. That's the Blade Storm now taken out of the equation. Plant directly down below the window. Neff zoned off of it. Tapping goes somewhere else. Again, interrupted. Now the lockdown going to be used. Looks like he is going to stick forward. Try to get this plant across, but might have to give himself up. Get detained in order to make it happen. He's going to try to make his exit. Gets over towards Stewart just in time. Swing out now. Allen finding 2. Darian and Crazy Guy both going to be eliminated. 2 members left. The push out. Torneko stuns, still gets the headshot. Neff is gone, and it's Scary once again, all on his lonesome. And there's nothing more that he can do. Allen will note him. He will send a flash. But Scary will have to just hold on to his weapon for a 3rd round in a row. Scars now up to 9. 1 more to tie it.
Bleed needs another timeout to address these quick rotates, these quick flanks from the side of Scars. They are too costly. Bleed able to identify a good sight, and Crystal, like you said, yep, right before it pops, gets the spot. Juicy, none the wiser. Allen there, working in that flank that have been so devastating time and time again for Scars. So someone needs to help Bleed out here and make sure that those angles are covered.
And those 2 kills from Allen are huge because now he's got the Rolling Thunder as well going into this round.
Yeah.
Again, big push coming through. Dart moves forward, clears out one of the nano swarms. The other one on the right-hand side, however, will work Juicy down to 91. It's going to continue to press up, but looks like they're very cognizant of this one. Spike plant does come across. He's looking for the kill, but the stun is good. Scary spotted up over the top. Yoshi jumps up from beneath the finds him with a shot. But Crazy Guy gets 2 with the Hunter's Fury. Allen and Crystal gone, but Yoshi brings it back to parity now at 2v2.
Hunter's Fury, what the fuck?
The half hold here, onto the defuse. The full stick, he's looking for it, but will not find it. Crazy Guy goes absolutely berserk with a 3K. And finally breaks the streak. Bleed move up to 11, but there's still more work to be done.
Well, even though Scary goes down there on top of the box, he's able to identify the positions, set up Crazy Guy from that spot. Great information gained, and then it's Crazy Guy with an unbelievable Hunter's Fury lineup from downtown, able to knock him down. And now we go on. Bleed finally able to find a second win here on their attacker side. Is it going to be enough, Achilleos? Can they find 2 more to close this out?
Off is in. Jemkin not going to be good for the shot. And now he's a bit stranded. The dash was used to push him over to the left-hand side. And now they certainly know that he hasn't exited yet. It's going to be a very shallow lockdown used, actually. Here over at Long, not in the sewer. It does allow them to widely stay inside of the site. Juicy, in the meantime, going to be pushing forward, just bouncing his way up. Gets the spot on the one, but Jemkin rescopes in, finds the shot. Ping reveal in, Neff still going to be standing strong, gets a headshot. Breaks open the site for them, as Jemkin will fall. Scary, getting that elimination, and now the 4v3, Bleed looking very well set to take this to map point.
Spike planted.
After suffering round after round losses. They're now on the precipice. Yoshi trying to get a timing swing here, but it's going to get caught from behind. Scary takes them out.
His position
Pushed down. Torneko with 11 certainly can't do a damn thing. He's not prepared for Crazy Guy, and now it's all on Crystal, the IGL, to try to somehow find 3. And he's down to 1 health.
Now he can't drop down.
No, he cannot. Even Neff grabbing up the operator so they have a little bit of extra punch. He's got himself swung around the side.
Yeah, if he dropped down, he's
cannot
dead.
get out of here with that weapon in his hands. The Crazy Guy will be the one to go ahead
Guess he's
and
gotta
finish
just
him off in a
fucking die
nice
at
little
that
Sova v
point.
Sova one. But now Bleed move up 12 to 9. 1 more to go to take their map pick of Haven. Scars, can they push back and take it to overtime? And see what they can do.
The pressure here is really good from Bleed in the beginning onto Jemkin. They take kind of a funky angle to keep that op off of that baseline crosshair placement. Get up on top of the box, do a little bit of damage to him, and then there's a huge moment on the backside here. Darion puts his alarm bot in the A main door and is watching for this lurk from Torneko. Yes, he loses the duel, but that alerts them to the presence. They're able to get the job done onto the site. Could be a fast B hit here to try to seal the deal on Haven.
They're in over the top. Yoshi, knowing that there's one in behind. Jemkin with a blade, does find Darion. Takes him down first and foremost and spray through Yoshi. I believe collapsed them there. Neff and Crazy Guy now gone.
What are you
Do you remember
doing,
Sluff the
Happiness?
smoke coming through? Torneko just backing away, sends out the paranoia.
Bacalin.
But it seems like we're not going to be over yet. The push in, Juicy, dead, Spike on the ground. And what do you know? It's scary. Always the last man standing, it would seem.
Looking now, see if he
Yeah.
can trick Scars a little bit. So far, though, Crystal not fooled. Crystal such a smart
Yeah, he
player.
went in there.
Just caught the
now
cape.
they know.
Yeah.
Hard confirmed and scary. The call will come in. Save the gun.
I mean,
he's going to go for a different approach.
This guy knows the value of $1, Achilles.
That he does. And again, he's still inching forward. 30 seconds, though.
30
4
seconds
players
left.
to get through. It seems just so impossible, so improbable.
If he gets these
Cash, it
two around
seems
this
like
corner,
he
though.
might still want to try to go for it. The push out, time on a Crystal. Plays it patiently, he swings back in. But 12 seconds, and they can just scatter to the wind. The fault line will connect. He's got the spike, he's going to TP across the map. Can he get it in time?
Wow.
It's going to be so damn close, but I believe he has it. It's scary. He might just be able to bring this back from the brink. I believe he wanted the TP up into heaven, couldn't make it happen. Sends down the smoke. And my God, what a position to be in. Unthinkable.
Certainly not, Achilles. Certainly not. Ooh, counter TP here from Torneko.
Oh, but cancels it. He's gonna check one. Gets the headshot.
Oh my God, what an ace.
The hometown hero drags it across the line in an impossible round. 13 to 9, he gets it done, and the crowd goes wild.
I am lost for words, Achilles. What a way to end our first map here in the finals of VCT Ascension Pacific in front of the hometown crowd here in Bangkok, Thailand. None other than Scary, the monster lurking on this map. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Unbelievable.
Added to the history books. Perhaps one of the greatest clutches that we will ever witness. Tier 2, Tier 1 does not matter. That was absolute perfection. The ace to put them down, to deny them getting closer to an overtime.
That was insane.
Scary has just sent one hell of a message.
He's just, it's unreal how many times he's able to do this. Time and time again, the guy is a mastermind.
Guy's a
You'll
madman.
never see anything else like it. The way that he's able to maneuver and read his opponents, to buy his time so perfectly. The big brain calculus as well. Unreal, Achilles. Unreal.
Well, if that's what we have to look forward to across potentially 4 more maps, then by God, am I so ready to feast my eyes on the rest of this series, but that is certainly going to be a map that hurts a bit more for Bleed. Yes, or for Scars. Not their map choice, so can at least brush it off in that regard, say, okay, you know what, we've got Bind coming up next. That's our selection. That's where we're going to get on the board. Tie this up at a 1-1. But the fashion in which they ended up losing that last round.
Fine, but then last round, dude, आखिर में क्या उसने करा है भाई?
Not that much time. Trying to reset the mental.
Absolutely. I mean, just good stuff here from both teams on their defenders' side. Good adjustments at the very end here for Bleed, and of course the heroic play from Scary gets him over the line.
Yeah, well, there's many rounds to choose from, so I'm curious to see what Komodo has for us. But he is going to be standing by with the illustration, so we'll send it over to him.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I'm here to break down a thrifty round that was navigated quite well by Scars in the early half of the first one, round number 5 to be exact. So we're going to start off over at the A side of the map for Scars, where they're on an eco. They're looking to try and draw presence to the A side on Bleed, and they've quite managed to do that successfully. But where this issue actually arises for Bleed is the fact that old mate Yoshi has gotten through the garage pretty much unseen, and in just a moment in time there's actually going to be a little window check that he sneaks by. So I'm just going to fast forward very slowly, and there's that window. You can see with this split cone here that doesn't actually catches him, he's able to get all the way in towards the C site where they're not known where he is whatsoever. So I'm going to play this one and keep an eye on it. So he's going to go up through just off the screen to get that kill, and bam, with that kill he actually manages to get his ult, the lockdown, in towards the C site. And remember, this is an eco round to come through from Scars, so they're just going to completely book it over towards the C site, and with the lockdown going in, we know that has to be respected by Bleed. That's going to buy a lot of time for the team to rotate on over to get the plant. But as I go to the next clip, we can see the lockdown as it's about to expire. The plant actually hasn't gone down just yet, and there's 20 seconds to go before that is actually going to happen. So what we're going to see is a dark cover placed over by Bleed, and the plant aimed to go over towards default. Now, the plan of attack for Bleed is actually to utilize a rolling thunder that they've got here on the exit of the lockdown, as well as a paranoia to catch any of the members of Scars off guard here. And we actually see that when the plant does go down by Toroneko, he gets caught off guard by this. So we'll just wait for that one to come on up. It's actually going to be in the picture here, and you can just see as I slow that one down there, the plant goes down, he gets blinded, and then he actually gets taken out by Crazy Guy, who manages to get his recon bolt online at the same time. So whilst they do wait for that one, the recon dart's actually going to go in, and that's going to land at the side wall here, clearing essentially all of the front of sight and majority of the back of side as well, with the kill that we've already gotten before. So that's going to give Bleed the essence to get in towards this site and almost force a full long hold by the side of Scars. So as we do see that, the operator's picked up by Yoshi. We're going to see 2 aftershocks actually exchanged in towards the cubby. And luckily enough, that's probably the best bit of utility that could have actually gone Scars' way, even when you think it might catch them off guard. So as I pause it here, you can see it forces the wide swing out of the cubby and through the dark cover that actually lands on the default spot where that spike is. We're waiting for Yoshi to get something happening with the operator. The shots, the pot shots, they're missing here, but stop. Alan, with this spray that he's actually doing towards the right side of the spike, it leaves Yoshi open to only focus with the operator on the left side of the spike, where he's able to get the kill and essentially shift the rest of the round for Gem Keen to close with the Blade Storm. So this is a cool thrifty round with a little bit of luck, a little bit of timing that Scars was able to navigate to get a round on the board. That's it for the map number 1 breakdown segment. Time to go to a break.
Welcome back to VCT Ascension Pacific. We just finished map 1 with Bleed making waves and Scary being that mega title wave, closing out with the most insane ace I've seen at all this entire week. It was incredible. What did you guys make of the first map?
Well,
face.
I think that sums it up, right? Because we had some other things we wanted to highlight and talk about in terms of like strategy and everything. And then Scary's like, no, you guys have to talk about me. Like, you have to talk about me. You have to look at me because we're in Bangkok. We're playing in front of the Thailand fans. And he just takes the spotlight. I mean, he just took his spot, literally, in that last round.
I mean, yeah, we were backstage kind of watching it happen. Yes, the first 2 kills kind of spectacular, and then from the shadows, you get the spike planted. We were kind of joking about it too, like, surely this is not going to happen, right? He misses the shrouded step into heaven, and we were like, he's human, but then he's not.
You know the question, Alex was backstage with us. Thank you for joining us back again. Quack, I hope you enjoyed the team deathmatch. But he called it. He was like, well, Scary's going to clean it up. We're like, well, that's not going to happen. And then bit by bit, in isolating those kills, we thought he accidentally missed that TP, and he just
it didn't matter.
It out. It didn't matter.
I mean, he just knows how to isolate those 1v1s. I mean, look at that KD, right? We're not even counting assists here, and he's still 20 and 8. Just an absolute incredible showing. And here's the thing, is that in the very beginning, Scars looked like they had a decent idea. It looked like they had a good read on how to power through Bleed's defense. They knew how to combat, that A main area. We talked about that with Alex before the map started. And Scars had some good plans, and it worked, but then they started overthinking things. They felt that they needed to adapt even further. They felt that they needed to change it up. And then once those started failing, they were like, well, wait, then where do we go back to now? Because all these counter stress are falling apart one by one.
And you can definitely see some of that, especially in the first half. They just couldn't find a site. They tried to break through. Second half, better comeback. Jemkin was starting to hit some shots.
Yes.
However, that's where you also started to see that one tiny slip up, just trying to rotate around, trying to get a little bit interesting with how they pushed out front. You saw some interesting moments with Torneko kind of sneaking into positions and catching people with trigger discipline, but then, it's still not quite enough to bring them back into the fray. The 9-3 was just such a big lead for Bleed.
Yeah, it was, and it could partially be, you could see a little bit of shakiness coming from Scars, like actual nervousness. You can even see it in the wavering of their crosshairs coming from Torneko. And I hope they've warmed up now going into bind. But one trend has definitely been going on with Scary being the last man standing every single time.
I mean, even a couple rounds where he was forced to save, right? Because it was like, well, I know you can maybe win these 1v4s, but right now we don't have creds, etc. And that last one, he said, well, if I get one kill, I have to from the shadows, which is why he goes for it. And I think that's the other thing that perhaps Scars actually kind of forgot about, right? We saw them pushing out on a timer out of garage in that very last round. And you start to think, okay, they think they have enough time, but of course they didn't account for the from the shadows. Now, this is what we originally wanted to talk about, was the Jet players, right? Jemkin versus Juicy, because Jemkin starts to bring up some of these numbers in the second half, but in the very beginning, he looked heavy. He was the very first death of the game overall, and Juicy, once he got the ops, he was able to lock down that A site. Yeah,
I do feel like this is still a great talking point, because Juicy definitely knew how to pivot around certain positions, especially on the A site. Just watching on a bit of an, well, not necessarily a full-on off angle, but just around the left side of the crate, you know what I mean? Like trying to push up A long, they couldn't break through because he was always watching that. And then you have Neff on the other side supporting Juicy as well with the fault line, maybe a flash point or two. Anytime that Scars would try to push out, they will get contacted.
Yeah, so while Scary obviously closes out the map, I think now looking at the stats and looking at the final scoreline compared to the first half, which is 9-3, we can still go back to the whole point we've been trying to make all 2 weeks here, in that if Jemkin gets started faster, then maybe that first half isn't 9-3. Maybe it's 6-6, and maybe that's just enough rounds for them to win the map. But if he starts to slow again on every map, I don't know if that's going to be enough time.
That's the thing, because you're thinking about Jemkin, and yes, he's pretty good on those 1v1s, but this is now playing against a full squad from Bleed. You have to think about how you get him into those positions where he can start chaining more kills together.
And you say it's full squad, but if you actually look at the kill record on Haven, looking at the head-to-head matchups, Jemkin Jemkin was 1-5 against Scary. He could never get through that last line of defense that Bleed had. I mean, if you can't get through that control, it's going to be rough. And now we're looking at Bind. Okay, both of them bringing out the compositions that they've had. The Chamber comes out for Darian, so it's really this Chamber versus Reyna setup, right? So you still have these, I guess Chamber's kind of a semi-duelist, you could say, semi-entry here for Bleed, but of course Scars on the attack once again. We know how the Reyna Sky Raise works, but the big question is can Jemkin get those early kills against the Chamber?
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely the question and something that we're keeping an eye on. Again, hopefully he's warmed up and shaken off some of that nerves here because he needs to get those picks, but Bleed is always together as a posse here. It's hard to get those individual picks.
On a map like Bleed, maybe a little bit, a map like Bind, well, this name's just in my head now. If you can actually find some individual duels because of how the map is laid out, maybe you have a certain Bleed player just watching certain sidelines, you could find that heads-up duel, but it's not gonna be easy. You need a full setup from the whole team of Scars.
Yeah, and of course, in terms of kind of the defense, I think, again, you can work around that side of, okay, Bleed style is to deathball it together. However, it's about that first half. You're given this opportunity to take that attacking initiative, take the flow of the game, of the map. They tried to do so. It didn't last very long on Haven. Hopefully, Scars can drag it on just a bit further here on Bind.
All right, the question is Scars going to wake up and take this Bind map so we can go into a full 5 mapper? We're going to go to Kilios and Paper Thin going into map 2.
Thank you very much. Cannot wait to get back into the action here. Such an incredible finish to that map. Such an incredible run back as well for the side of Scars for as long as it lasted until it didn't. But now we have to see, do they have the mental resilience to be able to bounce back from that devastating ace clutch handed to them by Scary and pick up a map when on their selection of Bind?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what the desk was talking about. Absolutely, my eyes are on to Jemkin's Reyna here to have some more impact than the last time that we saw it out. He had some struggles, especially in like that showers area, controlling that part of that map with the Reyna where he's left kind of to his own devices. So again, a very different way to play Reyna than maybe you'll see with Paper Rex, for example, but still, Jemkin, if he can heat up, if he can have some of those crazy shots we saw in the second half, then certainly he can start to take this map over. Reyna is so snowbally. Everybody knows it. Everybody that's played it or played against it knows that once you start heating up, once you start to feel it, once you start to get those dismisses flowing, things can get very, very difficult for the other side. And then I also, again, really wanted to key in on this Chamber for the side of Darian, for Bleed. A phenomenal agent in the right hands, had a little bit of a struggle with it against Orangutan when they lost in overtime on this map, the only other time they played it, but they've had some time to workshop it, some time to practice it. Let's see now if we're going to see an improved performance from Bleed and Darian on this map.
Let's go.
The Chamber coming out once more. See how he does fare. As William was kind of pointing out on the desk, does lend itself to be a little bit more like that double duelist. So do have that firepower. Looks like for now, every now and then we see some differentiation in the opening selection here for the Chambers, but he's going to be opting for the Headhunter, sticking with the classic.
I think that's a wise decision here.
Throws it up. There's one. Can't quite get the second one, but makes a quick exit. The Crystal gone off that base. That is so much firepower eliminated.
Was a wise decision indeed. Gets instant value out of it. Takes a scrape of damage himself as the forces of Bleed fall back now. Start shifting over to the other side of the map. Kind of anticipating that after that early pick, that maybe that would send Scars packing towards the other side, but in fact, Scars grabs their spike and begins maneuvering in. Trademark just around the corner here for Toroneko to deal with, and that will alert Bleed to this presence. Neff tucked in the corner. On the other side, Darian still 2 more bullets in this Headhunter.
Plenty more work to do, but he spots Jemkin, just waiting for that swing to come in. Staying trained in this position. Trailblazer as well, not heading his way. Does help clear it out. Gets the instant headshot across on the Yoshi. Allen will find one.
What a TP shot. Oh no. Eden.
This early kill secured, get Darion fired up, and then an instant TP out. And the dog never really able to identify, other than the classic shots, the position of Darion. That headhunter put to good use through the box, gets the kill onto the sky, and then the crossfires rain for the side of Bleed. Scary gonna opt for that judge, a bulldog for Neff. Darion, just a ghost.
Crystal's still going to be going in for the Bucky. Wants to try to maybe just double blast pack his way up here towards Lamps, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Up over the top, Juicy. He's like, well, yeah, I'm playing Raze. I know how this goes. Finds him, finds the second. Yoshi now going to be cut down. Allen, as well as Torneko, both taking damage from that explosion. Jemkin not going to be scouted by this boom bot. Can't really move out of this position either. At least not easily. Toxic screen back up. And yeah, Darion just holding the angle, this time with the ghost in hand. It's the one tap. Allen will recover the Bucky, so if anyone pushes into him, it should be all right to find a kill, but likelihood of that is seeming pretty damn slim. Sheriff in hand, Torneko now gone. Spike out in the open, and Allen, not much else that can be done. Blinded, killed off, a flawless round here in the follow-up. Bleed now move up 2-0.
Well, that certainly is a phenomenal round in a ton of ways for Bleed. Not only is it a flawless.
Round 3 off for Darion.
Exactly what I was just going to get into, my friend. That money saved. And immediately after that round kicked off and he had only had the ghost, I'm like, aha. You are going right for that operator. Let's see if this time they can hang on to it. On Pearl, it got dropped in round 3 when they cut funds to go for it. And the meditating, the Pepe Frog there wants the Bleed win. Absolutely, so far, so good. Crystal here, I'm gonna just check.
And we've seen this from him time and time again. Okay, a little bit of a micro spot, I believe, from the boom bot. But yeah, Crystal this time does hold on to the paint shells. Oh, a wide jiggle peek out from Allen. Darion ready for it, not able to find the punish. Now needs to shift back around where you can see it's going to be 5-member strong push coming up through short here onto the A site. It's just Darion in a bit of an awkward position as far as trying to hold the site goes. Rendezvous just has to be taken away. Ping's coming down. They know that he's going to be on that shower side. They would love to get rid of him. But Crazy Guy just spams. They're managing to find two. Jemkin and Allen taken down, and suddenly...
What is that spray?
This bonus is looking very good for the side of Bleed, who would love to move up. 3-0. Crystal around the back will find one. Trying to punch a hole here into the Bleed members, but Scary just going to be lurking forward right around the corner. Crystal now completely trapped. Site is open though, while Scary is paying attention towards this Raze push. Swing on the corner, but we'll be able to get it. Gets the weapon upgrade as the plant comes down over onto B.
All 4 members of Bleed going to be working their way through spawn in towards this. Torneko going to be taking contact. No utility left in that back pocket. One flash left. Juicy gets Torneko. Now on to Yoshi.
And the orb timing is just perfect. Right as they push in, suspecting, yeah, he might be an elbow. We'll just go ahead and obfuscate his vision. Not give him any chances. The fuse comes through. Question is, do they allow him to hold on to the guns? Juicy certainly does not want to. And Crazy Guy, he'll be the one to finish him off. 3 kills for him, 3 rounds for Bleed. Bonus is converted. And Scars in a very awkward position.
And this early push out by Darion, even though he doesn't find the kill, it gives them firm control over the shower side, and that allows Crazy Guy to rotate out of Lamps. Once he feels the pressure from the blast packs, he pieces out. He says, no, I'm gonna rotate over. We know we've got the eastern side of this site completely to our control. So I can get over there, get myself into a position where I can play on the other side of the smokes and do a phenomenal job getting that double kill and really putting that round into Dire straight for Scars. And
speaking of which,
probably the most stressed I've ever seen Scars coach there. He's normally a pretty stoic character.
I mean, dropping.
What are you talking about?
Bonus, definitely a
Where
bad
are you? Where are you, brother?
Early timeout.
On an important call, my guy.
So they look to assess what they can do to get themselves back into this game. I believe 2 thrifties in the first map. So, you know.
For Scars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have that going for them. So there's always that potential. Can never underestimate them, so we'll see.
Find another good Yoshi lurk, maybe a Tornado lurk in there, and turn things around
need to
pretty
fix
quickly for them. Absolutely. These guys
people
are
around
capable of it. We know that once they can steady, they can string rounds together.
People around that orb.
I will never count this Scars team out
You
until
have to
that
do a meeting
final
or something.
round, one way or another. I know that they're capable of popping off. I know that they can bounce back. We know they can face adversity, defeating the favorites in the Japanese league in J.
We are finding new people, so we can, you know.
Off again now for a third time.
So we can, you know.
Sheriff's Spectre and a Stinger
people.
to try to get themselves on the board for the first time.
So inactive.
Jemkin Torneko so far just 0-3, haven't been able to find any kills for themselves as Darian's just right up in front of Crystal. And that's that Spectre down on the floor. Crazy guy gets a timing shot. Jemkin's gone.
I need to like.
And well, hopefully the timeout
New people who are also
is for the
like
next
this.
run and not this one.
I know.
So yeah,
Yo,
shots through.
Darian is playing crazy with the chamber.
Punch goes out, doesn't get the full blind here on a crazy guy. And right before that would expire, Yoshi finally manages to
Oh my
kill. Swing
God.
out to the backside. Darian gonna be good for one. And the falling toward Neko with a headshot takes out Juicy, but Neff
especially yesterday,
alive just in time to finish him off. A good amount of damage dealt, but the offer is going to be recovered. The cash is still very much stacked up here for Bleed, so 4-0 as we get ready to go into the next buy round.
A good early crossfire setup for Bleed. Just punishing, kind of reading this.
Yes.
Scars able to get just deep enough. They can get this pop flash around the backside. Position that had worked really well for Crazy Guy in the previous
Again,
round.
he got a kill.
This time around, it's able to be
अबे crazy guy
identified
like
and isolated.
smoke के through मारे जा रहा है सबको. Like दूसरा ये लगातार दूसरा राउंड है, इसकी तीसरी किल है. नहीं, इससे पहले वाले राउंड में 2 लोगों को मारा था smoke से. Spectre से हो गया.
Oh ये ले भाई.
For Neff. Just a hawk to confirm there.
Huh?
Neff once again just wants to see if there's any presence over on the B side of the map. A lot of A pressure had been shown by Scars. So now you want to see if they're going to try to take some space. Keep track of that
like,
positioning, of course, with the reset on
like,
all that.
No, yaar, kya bolte hai,
Is what it is. Alir as well now. And the Trailblazer out. So now Bleed, keeping their 3-man stack onto this B side. Some of that utility being used to
Crystal used to stay tucked, trying to see how far they are willing to push. And getting ready to swing right into him. There's one.
बदला ले लिया क्रिस्टल ने.
Right through the corner of the wall.
2 बार मार चुका था उसको.
That's the finisher. So go ahead and they TP across. Now 5 members strong, moving their way up here onto the site. Things looking good so far here for the side of Scars.
What a play. What a read from Crystal. He's so smart.
Question is, how far does Bleed want to push this one? They have tools like the Seekers, like this orbital strike. Is Crystal, okay, going to get jumped there by the Trailblazer, knocked down to 23 health.
Look at all these ults, these post-plant ults for Scars for days.
Plenty to work with. At the very least, if you Bleed, you would love to just draw these out of them. Scary sending a bite. Torneko just going to be getting a bit of that damage. Full flash does come in. The swing onto the corner. They find the first kill.
Yo, Sky is so...
4 more to go with time. Running low. Jemkin watching around the back. Just pulling away from the side as Crystal will get himself a 3rd. Looking for a 4th. And he will be able to confirm it.
Oh, Crystal round.
Guy not going to give him the opportunity. Just throws down the stim to get himself sprinted out of the blast radius in time. And Scars will find themselves a round win.
And a very important one. Again, the confidence flowing for Bleed.
I missed the first zoom,
and Crystal able to read this on this off angle.
Yeah,
it's caught through the wall there on that spray. Crystal here getting some backup, even though Yoshi goes down.
That as well?
Able to keep those ults in their back pocket by making sure that there was no tap on the spike. No ability for Bleed to get through and force out that orbital strike or something else. So now you've got everything but the Empress for the side of Scars.
Alt might be lost, but the Sword of Force is here. Darian again in a very forward position. Rendezvous set up to take him back over towards Lamp's entrance. Snap just, some blind shots. Will get Jemkin, and the healing comes across instantly.
Juicy one away from his own rocket. So looking to try to maybe get a setup for a pick. To have Neff with the Seeker still. He's got to be real careful around this corner.
They're basically just side by side. He's going to back away. Bite out into hookah.
Yo, Crazy Guy playing so fucking good.
In the meantime, quick pick as Jemkin will fall.
And look at the patience. No other utility. Yeah.
Flash goes a little bit deeper, but they should suspect that somebody could
अबे तूने Scary का ace नहीं देखा last map वाला.
Scary now does get rid of Crystal.
They didn't saw the ace he did.
Gone with both tools on the floor. Seeker's going to be let loose. Two of them going to be cleared instantly. Some shots flying across. Scary tagged down low. Trailblazer on the chase. Get the stun across.
अबे तूने ace नहीं देखा क्या करा उसने?
So very close. 1 HP invulnerable down.
You'll shit your pants, brother.
Try to slow up the further advances. Now the Molly is spotted. Scary.
1v5 मारा उसने.
सेम वही कल का ये क्लिप था वही 1v5
Even if want to help this man is still an
अबे
absolute
time भी नहीं था.
Yoshi now gone. It's all on Allen.
Spike भी नहीं था उसके पास.
He'll just back away.
10 seconds left.
Takes the TP out to safety, but will they try to rush him down?
एक को मारा उसने.
From Neff.
4 बचे हुए थे.
Just outside of the TP. Seems like they might want to try to fish for this one. Shot flying. Allen will be able to catch him. Finishing him off now, waiting just in case, but no further pursuit coming in. But for Darian, he does not mind. He didn't have to buy into the round. Just pop the ult.
Exactly.
And just
right on the back.
right before the blooms.
And this is just a great smoke setup here for Scary to play off of. Suspecting that maybe someone had snuck into the corner on the other side. Knows that he has the angle if he gets up on top of that box. I mean, that's...
क्या कहते हैं एक बंदे को मार दिया था उसने हेवन में 2 बंदे गराज में बैठे थे 2 बंदे सी पे बैठे हुए थे पीछे से गया 2 बंदों को गराज मारा ऑल्ट आ गई स्पाइक लिया सीधा ए साइड पे 4 सेकंड पे लिटरली स्टार्ट किया था उसने प्लान करना These crazy guys absolutely
A 2v2 in the off for the retake here from the side of Bleed.
Orbital strike से 2 मर गए.
The pit going to be invested. They know that they need to win this round. Straight off shot, just going right past the shoulder here of Allen. Doesn't find the connection with Juicy. He takes the pit down. Showstopper out. It doesn't even matter. Darian's already gotten the headshot.
Oh my God!
Will not allow them to find his second here in this half. Not quite just yet. Bleed will once more get themselves up to 6.
Just crazy stuff. Just ordinary play from Scary. As soon as those Seekers were out, the pit was
उसके ऊपर वाले कुत्ते की तरह टैग हो गया था.
For Crazy Guy to pick up 2 huge kills, keeping Hookah at bay for just a little bit. Pushes ahead. He sees him.
देख भूल गए थे. देखा?
Before the orbital strike claims him.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that orbital strike, there's not much you can do about it, and you just gotta fight your way through it. Get as many kills before it claims you. And all those ults gone for Scars, and 1 round to speak of. After that ult cycle, definitely not what you want. Back onto a weaker buy. Couple of stingers.
वही तो कह रहा हूँ ऑर्बिटल स्ट्राइक हाँ और नेड का कॉम्बिनेशन लग गया उसको. एक तरफ नेड फेंका एक तरफ ऑर्बिटल.
On the back of this Trailblazer, knows that he's under pressure.
They're gonna just try to shoehorn themselves here into the side, and already Neff gets the collide on the 2. Jemkin Tornado taken down. Crystal will be able to answer one back. Grabs that Phantom for a bit of an upgrade.
Jesus.
Still sat here around the corner, but Allen scouts him out. Finds that kill, but Crystal goes down. The firepower. Squidzy would love. So Allen actually swapping off the Judge goes back here for the Stingers. Cut down the size. There just holds the angle. And now it's all on Yoshi. And he will
oh my God.
Juicy just hounds him down. The fuse comes in 7-1.
And that
just crisp, clean stuff here from Bleed.
तुम लोग कितना भी स्पीड ट्रांसफर बढ़ा दो भाई वाला लाइक
just backing off, knowing he has to play his life, knowing it's going to be a fast hit off the back of that Trailblazer. Just backpedals, gets 2 huge kills.
मुझे तो नहीं लगता कि कुछ इतना खास कुछ फर्क पड़ा है स्टिंगर पे.
You've got to suspect that potentially the Chamber who's been locking down that A side would be the one coming through there.
Double ding headshot.
Might have a big gun waiting for you if you peek that corner, but
उसपे तो गोली कम करी है ना वो कहाँ बड़ा है?
Darian would use that opportunity to try to take space.
नहीं इसे गोलियां कम की है.
Grabbing an operator here for the side of Scars. You can see if they can change their destiny, change their fortunes. See if he can maybe outduel Darian on the other side of the map, hoping that with that space, that most of the time he'd been giving up, except for that one round, they got the win. Maybe can catch Darian peeking a little bit out of showers.
2% कुछ changes हुए, like उसका
very much slowed down now. Crystal with that attack off was able to do so much damage. That's a couple days ago.
Spread बढ़ गया उसका.
Now going back to it, can he find value? All going to be raised. Triple stack here on short.
चार बंदे ने कहाँ पे?
Keeping their way forward. Torneko just around the corner. There's the shot. Torneko knocked down to 8.
पड़ा है इसको. RTHP बची इसकी.
Minor damage found on Darian on the opposite side.
और उसको सिर्फ एक body shot पड़ा वो heal हो गया.
नहीं heal हो जाएगा
पूरा.
पूरा.
Rotating around. Crystal still trying to delay. Trying to find something here on this rotation. Darian. Right here, full shot going
That's why Chamber a little bit. Oh my god.
Lear goes forward. He
Oh my god.
Shot, a triple. The pop flash, the disengage. Can't quite get the flick, but the damage is dealt. And Yoshi will
जब तक शॉट ही निकाल रहा था लॉन्डे ने हेड एंटर लेके भर दी. बहुत तेज आती है ना हेड एंटर बाहर.
This is the chamber you want to see.
बहुत तेज बाहर
The
आती है.
reactive plays, the
लगा देती है भाई.
to catch Scars as they send themselves over to the A site. And there's a pressure applied from Bleed through the top.
उसकी गन भी नहीं आई भाई. हेड एंटर कूद जाती है भाई जब मारते बाहर. ये देख फौरन
to get himself reset perfectly. The maneuverability there for him, absolutely gorgeous. Like you talked about that.
इन लोगों ने वापस चेंबर को नर्फ किया ना.
Showing you its value right there.
अभी भी कोई सा बहुत बड़ा बफी है उसके अंदर.
For Crazy Guy.
दिक्कत उसके ना दिक्कत उसके
much of an economy to speak of.
अलार्म बॉट में.
Poison orb set up to try to dodge.
हाँ यार तो
out on a
अगर रेडियस
flash.
रखना है तो 2 रख दो. यार तो टाइमर हटा दो.
Used as well. Clear forward into garden. Trailblazer leading the way. Crazy Guy spamming across looking for something now. Sends out the molly.
भाई ये अंधा पुश चल रहा है भाई. रैंक वाला पुश है. अंधा रैंक पुश है भाई ये. क्या कह रहा हूँ? ये अंधा पुश है रैंक वाला. ये अंधा पुश है पूरा रैंक वाला.
But nothing more can be found.
कह रहा हूँ अंधा पुश है रैंक वाला है.
Remember still strong. The banks is absolutely brimming with cash. As Bleed continue on their reign of terror, now 9-1.
So many times for Scars, these fast pushes come on the back of these Trailblazers. So as soon as that dog comes out, Crazy just starts spraying. He just starts going for it. The utility comes flying in from the rest of his team, from Scary, to get those vulnerables like you're talking about. Full flash on the fourth one.
I'm trying to keep it together. It's a grand final. It's a grand final. Oh, but that was very funny.
Yeah, moments of brevity in the middle of this insane game from Bleed.
Again, just looking to really push their way, brute force into this B site. 2 players watching around the backside. Showstopper out. Seeker's going to be let loose, looking for the catch. Looks like he's going to just end up sending this one into Hookah, hoping for something, but they've already rotated out. They're wrapping around over towards B-Long.
Love the plan here. Avoid that Showstopper. Now you've got that orbital strike here from Crazy Guy. You can trap him in, pin him in with these flanks that you're taking.
Jiggle Peak sees one, but Flash going to be blocked there by the Poison Orb. Orbital strike going to be sent out here from Crazy Guy. Just trying to clear out guard, and TP has to be used. Yoshi ends up dipping. That's going to be long control. Surrendered out over to Bleed. And they immediately utilize that to find a kill. Jemkin going to be taken out of the equation. Crystal sat just below the window, tries to turn, manages to get the shot across. Step swings into the site, finds one, finds a third. Identifies where Torneko's at, but he's in this rough position. No time remaining. Torneko will be able to take him down. And Scars will pick up a second round win for themselves, but he comes at an empty cost. 4 players dead on the floor as Yoshi cannot get away from that spike explosion. So even going into the last round of the half, it's going to have to be half armor buys here alongside these rifles.
It's not a bad idea from Bleed here at all. It's just better execution from Scars. Able to really keep those crossfires in check, prevent those flanks from ever really finding themselves. The orbital strike just a bit off base, and Yoshi has a backup plan in the teleporter to escape danger.
Man's on the side says Jemkin ace. How about Jemkin kill someone? Because he's 0-10-2. It's about as absent as you can possibly get.
Damn, Jemkin is getting shut down, and commentators shitting on him.
Orbital strike going to be used here aggressively by Allen. Clearing out the site, gets him forward, but here's Darian. Paint shells through, and he's just going to gun them both down. Tornaco's dead to a bite off screen.
Fucking TP'd out.
As its only crazy guy eliminated on the side of Bleed. Looking to make this a 10 and 2 half.
Well played. पीछे गया ऑफ पे की जज
Bro, उसकी वो देखियो.
Oh, Darian.
क्या कहते हैं?
He's going to end the half killless. This Reyna completely shut down. Neff finds Allen.
इसका वो देखियो first blood.
Bleed absolutely.
Chamber का.
With a monstrous control of this map.
Chamber का first blood देखियो.
एक ऑफ के शॉट चलाया
Scars elect to go here.
जज उठाई.
But they cannot hold a candle to this performance right now that we've seen from Bleed.
And that extra cash in the bag to add insult to injury there. That double kill with the judge gives the tour de force to Darian. And it's just, it's all Bleed all the time. See the coaching staff there, very happy, of course. And what can you say? Near perfect, near flawless execution from Bleed. And you gotta love what you're seeing from Darian here. A complete change of pace, a complete change of the effectiveness of this chamber.
I mean, I think it's probably the highest value chamber that we've seen on Blind so far. Across pretty much
one of the best performers doing
any series, whether it's tier 1, tier 2. Right now, Darian is fired up.
On 3 occasions and 21 clutches.
If you're watching NRG, this is how you get value out of that chamber pick.
Oh, brother.
I will show you one
Shade Throne.
clutch.
I ain't stepping on that one. I like FNS, man.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, we both do. But this is just a masterclass. And the Reyna, yeah, never able to get impact. Now, generally, the Reyna, a little bit more impactful on the defender side on Bind. You have a lot more space to work with, a lot more control to be found, but really read very nicely. And again, anytime there was a B hit, Bleed was perfectly prepared with their protocols, just like we saw in Haven. Today, it seems to me that the coordination was a big focus for Bleed, and it is paid off in spades. Do a lot of gardening with those spades, my friend.
Well, now, need to have the defending side of their lifetimes. Otherwise, Bleed going to be able to get this pistol, move up to 11. Start off with a 2-0, and you do not want to be in a reverse sweep scenario. Juicy looking to push the tempo. Scary, however, going to be finding one. Jemkin already going to be taken out. So the suffering continues.
It's just unbelievably difficult for Jemkin. You've got to feel for him right now. Still can't find that first blood. Still can't find that opening kill. And especially on the pistol round of Achilles. Reyna so difficult to deal with. Darian a little bit off the mark.
Not quite snappy enough to find the headshot there. Sends up 2 of those bullets, takes a bit of damage, but now the TP just going to be a full send here. Bleed shifting back across now into the very open A site. Smoke set up. Crystal, potential spot to try to get this jump, and he absolutely needs to. You can see how suspicious still Darian is. Slow creeping back. Spots him now and will end up falling. Shot into the shoulder. Crystal wins the fight. 4v4 now as he looks to rejoin the rest of the team back over here onto the site. Which coming in, Scary, unable to line him up into the corner. However, is Neff, and he's going to be able to find them both. Advantage established. Yoshi all on his lonesome. The molly down here onto the spike. Juicy on the hard angle. He swings it. He dies. Bleed. Take the pistol now, 11-2.
Love this post-plant setup here from Bleed. Love the change of reaction here. Baiting out some attention, getting that first kill, and not overcommitting to what they sensed was a well-defended B site. With Tornado still over there. Didn't want to deal with it. Quick rotations, and then you're able to set up these crossfires. Huge plays from Neff to lock down that U-Haul. Give Juicy the ability to hold that angle. Crazy guy with that molly. From Showers. Really, really well drawn up there by Bleed. And now Stingers. Here is that force buy that we have been looking for from Scars. Didn't get to see it on map 1. Still were able to string together a nice series of rounds on their defender side, but this is by a wide margin worse now after losing the pistol.
Motherfucker, यहाँ भूख लगी है तुम खाना दिखा रहे हो. This is
Anticipating that force.
This is not fair, brother.
Here.
अकेले
In the scoreline.
अकेले ठूस रहे गलत बात है.
Slowly. See if they can get any punches. Crystal push forward. The Stinger is going to be drawing them into medium range. Juicy, is he ready for it?
This is not fair.
Eventually gets the headshot and somehow avoids all bullets.
I'm shocked. I can't believe he didn't take any damage.
Boombot scouts as well. Somebody up on top of the box. So Jemkin now has to fall back. Lear at the ready.
Tornado lurk.
Sends it, but it goes into the smoke. And his paint shells up over the top, but he's going to get absolutely splattered. Yoshi again, last man standing, bleed. Going to be taking this down. I'm at point.
30 seconds left.
Can Yoshi do anything? Find any kills? Flash over the top, gets the full flash in, but Juicy still just strafing. Gets the headshot. It's a flawless. It feels like not just the round, but the map overall has been damn near flawless. One more to go.
Like, not that,
Scars.
but
Can they find anything?
Way too hard. On our grand finals.
Going to end up finishing this one 0-14.
I didn't think I'd ever see a world where Jemkin wouldn't get any kills on a map. I did not think that was possible. It is
frustrated, bro.
It is shocking to see, but you got to give credit to Bleed here. The early round utility, the Trailblazer set to be kind of a little bit of a distraction. Juicy able to win that big duel, not take any damage. And just get their way through, get in. Just phenomenal stuff here on this attacker side so far. Now let's see if they want to try something a little bit faster, but take the orb as a consolation prize here behind the utility of Tornado. And also I want to credit Bleed here, really aware of Tornado's lurk on that. Crazy Guy was looking for it, was waiting for it through market, and handled it beautifully. So great piece of work there from Bleed to identify a point of weakness from Haven and able to address it quickly here on Bind.
Spray through the drop out of Hookah. TP is going to be used. A little bit of a late lurk though, Darian.
Damn.
Sets up the net. Gets a catch. Yoshi going to be taken down.
कल एक एंगल भाई नहीं छोड़ रहे हैं भाई. देखियो कितना भाई साहब सीधा बॉक्स के ऊपर.
Swing out, Jemkin. They're going to be cleared. Getting pushed out. Again, falling low. Put down, Jemkin taken down. As it is just Crystal and Allen now left to try to get something done. Allen sprays through, bites to the judge, nearly has the finish, but he just cannot get it.
But bro, it's a
Juicy will finish him off. After such a fantastic dominant display, Blade now move up 2-0. They are one map win away from punching their ticket from ascending into VCT.
And they're destroying Scars.
And now for Scars. If they want it, if they can get the tier 1, it is going to take a reverse sweep, something that we have only seen twice in BCT history.
Can Scars match what Paper Rex was able to do first? Can they find that success? But Bleed, can you imagine a team that can hold Jemkin's Reyna to 0 kills? Unbelievable performance from them to shut that powerful agent down. We've seen it so many times from Jemkin that his Reyna can be absolutely destructive, but Bleed's not having any of it here today. And they want to send us home after a 3-0 potentially. We go over to Fracture next, Achilleos.
And this is a map that they played against each other on the last time that they faced. And it did not go very well for the side of Scars. What lessons have they learned since then? We posed the question after Haven, can they bounce back? Can they show the resilience that is necessary to recover after getting ace clutched by Scary? So far, it's pointing towards a no, because this was such a dominant display. 2-round wins, that's it. that path. Scars, it is going to take everything that they have to try to come back into this one from here on out.
Yeah, it only gets worse here for Scars. I mean, it's going to take nothing but perfection the rest of the way through to get this across the line. And if Jemkin's not in this, you know, we've seen it before that is kind of a key factor for them when they start to struggle, when Jemkin's not on top form, and that is the opposite of top form here. So certainly, hopefully, he can mentally turn it around. We've seen him do it before.
Yeah.
But this is another level of difficulty for them.
That's not looking good, but of course we do have Komodo standing by once more at the telestrator to break down some of the action here. And again, I think he's got plenty to choose from, and I'm expecting that it's going to be on the side of Bleed. So we'll go ahead and throw it over to him.
Thanks once again, guys. Yeah, there was a lot of rounds to choose from in that one, but I've actually gone for a bit of a round of pure Valorantness, pure chaos, but also showing some good protocols from both of the teams. So in fact, it's actually going to be early in the stage from round number 7. Now, in this round, we have a lot of ultimates available on the side of Scars. They're going to rip them nice and early, but most importantly, it's actually going to be scary to try and hold down the fort of B. Now, when it comes to Bind, we're very known where a Sky generally plays, right? Over towards B, long. You're used to seeing a guiding light come on out, and that's what is actually expected here by Scars. So what they're going to actually do is put a poison cloud here and wait for that bird to come on down, wait for it to pop to get no information, for them to then scale up into the site. Now for Bleed, they're happy enough, of course, to just keep Darion on this line over at the A side of the map where that toxic screen is actually rather, actually goes over towards short instead to try and confirm some information here. So that's going to be the tell over towards Scars that they can start to stampede up through towards long, which is going to be bringing out Scary's Viper's Pit. Now there's a lot of ultimates that are actually going to be dumped on the get-go here on that. With that Viper's Pit, we are going to see the Trailblazer, we're going to see a Lear come out as well for them to try and start to scale up towards B. The Trailblazer is actually going to be biting poor Scary, which is going to ultimately end his life in this one. And off screen on the radar again, we can actually see that Crazy Guy is starting to make his rotation over. He's going to be dropping the Stim Beacon here to get a little bit more speed because he needs to get a smoke over towards Hooper to try and help out the guys over on B. The difference, though, is that for the attackers, there's only one smoke that they throw towards Elbow because they then want to use their combination of utility with their own bird to get into the site and actually place an orbital strike on the site itself. So with all of these flashes going around, with the Trailblazer going up with the Seekers trying to confirm some information, with on the rocket as well, we do start to see that Scars are getting into the site. Now there's that smoke that I mentioned, and that is a problematic one for Scars because it forces Crystal to try and work with his team coming out of Long and Garden to get into the site. He actually walks into a bit of a crossfire as well.
You're watching, right?
The crossfire was already established for the side of Bleed, and just pure chaos on the round. 3 kills going over towards Bleed, and earlier 3 for Scars there. 2 to bring us into the 2 versus 2. Now, in this situation, you would think that for Darion having the operator teammate, but as a scare tactic, as a closer on the round, you always want to try and use that for good measure. So one of these rounds that, you know, Valorant takes, it's always good fun. Map number 2 is done. We're going to go back to a break.
एल्कन
हाँ हेलो, आवाज नहीं आई क्या? हेलो
हाँ बोल, बेल स्क्रीन दिख रही है?
हाँ
ये देख
in a row. Scars now
down, and now
you Dan Jemkin not going to be good for the shot, and now even Nev grab
can't drop down.
No, we cannot.
Went on the backside here, pushing for
ये round देख खाली.
Yoshi knowing that there's one in behind. Jemkin with the blades, does find Darian, takes him down first and foremost, and sprayed through Yoshi! I believe collapsed him there, Neff and Crazy Guy now gone. 2 members left, the smoke coming through, Torneko just backing away, sends out the paranoia. It seems like we're not going to be over yet. The push in, Juicy dead, Spike on the ground, and what do you know, it's scary. Always the last man standing, it would seem.
Looking now, see if he can trick Scars a little bit. So far, though, Crystal not fooled. Crystal such a smart player. Just caught the
now
cake.
they know.
Yeah.
Hard confirmed, scary. Call will come in, save the gun.
I mean,
he's going to go for a different approach.
This guy knows the value of $1, Achilles.
That he does. And again, still inching forward. 30 seconds though, 4 players to get through. Seems just so impossible, so improbable.
If he gets these 2 around this corner, though,
might still want to try to go for it. The push out, time on the Crystal, plays it patiently, he swings back in, but 12 seconds, and they can just scatter to the wind, the vault line will connect, he's got the spike, he's gonna TP across the map! Can he get it in time? It's gonna be so damn close, but I believe he has it! It's scary! He might just be able to bring this back from the brink! I believe he wanted the TP up into heaven, couldn't make it happen, sends down the smoke. And my God, what a position to be in. Unthinkable!
certainly not Achilles. Certainly not. Ooh, counter TP here from
Welcome
Torneko.
back to VCT Ascension Pacific. I'm Victoria, and at the desk with me, we've got Swat and Winner. We just finished match 2. This is a really intense day. Whoever wins is going to be crowned the champion of VCT Ascension. But Bleed has VCT Ascension. But Bleed has been looking really strong right now. And gentlemen, what is going on?
Can you explain this for us, Quack?
I mean, Bleed's looking great, but Scars is definitely underperforming.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a classic case of one team is playing up to their potential and one team is playing at their weakest, right? And this is perhaps the weakest we've seen Scars play all tournament. I mean, yes, they've dropped.
It's so sexist, the word gentleman. You know how? Yep, Sale welcome. Good.
Coming through the way that they are coordinated, it's all falling apart. Jemkin,
yeah, you know,
that's the biggest point.
Well, we had Alice on the desk before, and I didn't quite realize Saisha was invited here as well to VCT Pacific, because we did find an egg out there on Bind on that map too. But I mean, listen, you pick Reyna, and now with this kind of score line, his KAST, right, kills, assist, survives, trades, was 33%. But that's what happens when you pick an agent like that, because that agent, you literally have to get kills to find impact, and you get 0.
Literally 0. You just have 0 impact. Maybe some assists, but that's about it. You can't use any utility, any abilities at all.
And I just want to say, I mean, this is partly, yes, Jemkin also definitely not playing up to the potential that we've hyped him up, but he's getting red, right? The Reyna positioning, etc. We'll talk about this a little further when we highlight one of the players, but it was very clear that Bleed knew, okay, these are...
हेलो आवाज नहीं आई क्या बोल रहा है
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि रहने दे कहाँ गया था तू अब मैं बोल रहा था तेरे से
मैं बोल के तो गया था पानी लेने गया तो आवाज सच्ची में नहीं आई क्या
अभी आई
पानी लेने गया था बोलना
हो गया वो कह रहा था ना उसने बोला था ना एंकर बैठी हुई थी कह रही थी जेंटलमैन मैंने कहा जेंटलमैन कितना सेक्सिस्ट वर्ड है बे अब तू सोच रहा होगा क्यों
वही सोचो लिटरली
अगर जेंटलमैन का ऑपोजिट क्या है
जेंटल का ऑपोजिट है
अबे मेल फीमेल का कैसे वर्जन है फीमेल वर्जन क्या है
नहीं आई गेस
हैं
नहीं है कुछ
अबे लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन बोलते हैं ना चूतिए
तो ऐसा ऑपोजिट वर्जन थोड़ी ना हो गया वो
हाँ मतलब लाइक फीमेल वर्जन तो होगा ना चमू
पता नहीं
अबे भाई मेरे, अच्छा ये बता कि men और women होता है, ठीक है, men women, ठीक है, girl boy, ठीक है, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, हाँ, मेल फीमेल, उसी की तरह से लेडीज और जेंटलमैन होता है. I was saying कि gentleman is a sexist word. पूछो क्यों? क्योंकि why are they addressing only the men who are gentle? Why is it gentlemen? Why is it not gentle ladies and gentlemen? They're categorizing the fucking men. They're like only gentlemen. Everybody else fuck off. I always hated the word gentlemen. Gentle ladies and gentlemen. अगर gentle ladies बोलेगा ना भाई देखना, there's gonna be an issue.
Can't do it. Someone else needed to lead the way, but also everyone else wasn't finding their duels against Bleed.
It was a little bit of Allen, maybe Torneko at times.
लड़कियां कैसे भी चलेंगी, लड़के gentle होने चाहिए.
It's tough, and that's why you really need to go for that full mental reset. Fidesz needs to lead his team.
Look, it's all or nothing at this point. If they don't reset, this is it. It's very, very clear that is something is going on in their nerves right now, and they just can't get over this mental hurdle. Now we are going to go into Fracture. Scars has a pretty good track record on Fracture. In fact, they defeated Nows just the other day, 13-3.
Yes.
But the last time they played Fracture against Bleed, it didn't go so well. And I don't know if it's going to go the same way again. How are you guys feeling about this?
That's what I'm scared about, right? 13-5 against Bleed the last time that they played. It was their own pick. It didn't go great, and that is why Bleed are picking it again. You need to see that same performance from Crystal, the same way that they played yesterday.
Well, you say that, but again, that's the point I wanted to make, is the only reason they won against Nows Esports on Fracture was because Crystal was dragging them across the finishing line, right? 22 kills, 5 deaths. I mean, an absolute monstrous performance from it. If you can do it, great. I mean, that's fantastic that you can extend your lifeline, but this is the best of 5. It doesn't end just here, so even if they do win Fracture, I would still be worried here for Scars.
Exactly. The next couple of matches, maybe Scars has a bit of a lifeline, but how long can you really extend it? You need to make it happen right now. You remember how Crystal actually had that performance. He sneaks into smoke.
I'm not interested in that
We use of his positioning to get behind enemy lines. I don't know if you can do that against Bleed, especially a Bleed that is feeling this whole crowd, this whole event.
Well, the intensity is definitely at its peak here in the stadium right now. We have a lot of Bleed fans who are very happy seeing how they're doing, and of course a lot of supporters for Scary, who is from Thailand himself. With that, we are going to go into map 3. I don't know if this is going to be the last map of today. I certainly hope not, for the sake of Scars, and honestly just for good games. We're going to go to our casters Achilleos and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's time to go into what could very well be the final map of this series. Bleed, they have their fate in their own hands. One more. They will be our Ascension champions. They will be the first team to move up to be promoted into the Pacific League, and they will have swept Scars. Something that we did not anticipate coming into today.
No, absolutely not. I thought this was going to be a very competitive back and forth series, but who knows, maybe it was that scary ace clutch that really kind of set this series into a destined path where it is going to be Bleed coming through. But can Scars turn around? Their mental has been really good this event so far. They've really been able to bounce back after some difficult losses or some difficult maps or difficult halves. But now I have severe concerns because Bleed looks really well drilled here today, especially on their defender side where they start on Fracture. But yeah, Fracture generally, again, in our region is more of an attacker-sided map. So certainly I feel like this has to be a statement now from Scars. They have to come out swinging here on Fracture. They've got to find a way to reset mentally. Particularly Jemkin. It goes without saying that after a performance like that, you hope that a player of his caliber, who has been so good throughout this tournament, that he can get it done. And we are moving over to Fracture, Bleed Esports versus Scars, the deciding map potentially.
Scars cannot allow for that scary ace, that 0-14 performance from Jemkin to affect them now. They have to abandon it. They have to play with confidence. They cannot play with fear. Fear is the mind killer. in that last map, it certainly looked like their mental was boomed. We'll see if they can, in fact, bounce back, though, and how they are going to fare now. Starting off on this attacking side here on Fracture, the desk was teeing it up. Did not go their way the last time out.
And the last time, it was the defender side for Bleed that was so good here on Fracture. 8-4 for Bleed on their half. An alarm bot right around the corner. Darion not moving a muscle off that contact. Instead, Scar's going to opt to take the orb, use the haunt to check sight. A little bit of a crossfire potentially, but the smokes are down. Sight is open here. Nano try to buy a little bit of time for these rotations. A long lurk through attacker spawn for Neff and Juicy. And here we go. It is going to be potentially a post plant. Still, Torneko hasn't opted to go for it. Okay.
Hasn't gone for it yet, and yeah, very slow take here on the rope from Allen. Aftershock goes across. They're looking to flush him down. Get him off the bottom of the rim. And Juicy gets that headshot. Absolutely gorgeous from him. Very much a nightmare awakening here for the side of Scars. Yoshi trading one back push out of the smoke. Jemkin cannot get it done. Swing and Yoshi everything to do, but can't quite get it. Ends up falling, 2 members left. Another pistol round goes to Bleed.
Just great patience here from Bleed, and you can see Scars is scared. They don't know if it's safe to plant, and they don't know where the utility is going to be coming in, when it's going to be coming in. And that aftershock forces Torneko out of position right into Juicy's ghost. And then it's the swarm through the smokes. The so good today for Bleed. Crossfire is beautiful, and love this plan here from Bleed again. Give them the space, play for retake. Seen it a little bit on Bind, even though it didn't pan out. But they are happy to utilize their great combination. These executes that they dial up are so well choreographed. Now another orb going to be grabbed. Turret is going to note the presence here, but Darion. Yep.
Okay, Stun going to get one. Goes still for a little bit of a jiggle peek. Scary with some covering fire from behind. Finds one, and that is into the meat grinder. For Yoshi and Crystal, just ripped apart. End up falling. Turn back over towards the site. Spike now stranded on the steps as Darion will find himself a second. Allen stuck here with the ghost in hand, saying, guys, what in the hell do I do?
It's going to be challenging. You've got a few dinged up players, but nope, Neff is going to be the one to find another flawless for Bleed on their round 2. And these anti-ecos have been so strong for them after winning the pistol. So disciplined, and even though the last time we saw Scars on Fracture, Crystal's fade was really impactful with the utility, and yeah, sure, you've got players stunned up, but you've got Scary there to back up that Judge. And able to find 2 of the 3. Judge shifts back over, no problem at all.
You can tell he was ready to use Darion as a body block. You eat these bullets, I'll get the kill. He managed to just do it a little bit faster than even he had anticipated, it would seem.
Such is the life of a Killjoy. We are there to protect.
I mean, hey, if it's I don't care what role you're playing. If Scary's standing behind you, you body block for the guy.
Facts. That's facts.
There's the creep up. Gun barrel spotted. Jemkin finding one. Does get himself on the board here. Does get dinked. Change over. Just trying to find that elimination on the Yoshi instead, but still, it's quite a bit of damage. Sets up for his teammates to potentially find him, and Yoshi will fall down. Plant out coming in around the back. Scary catches Jemkin, upgrades the weapon. The 3v2. Torneko taking just a little bit of damage. Drone up over the top. Should have spotted his head so they know where one's at. Do they get the read on Allen on this flank?
Last player standing.
2v1. Crazy guy. Low on health. Allen in a winnable position to try to get this bonus. Lockdown already. Good amount of damage dealt, however, from the side of Bleed. Kill in the end. Crazy guy with a 3K. Puts them on the board for 3. The bonus is theirs. And Bleed look absolutely unstoppable.
And just like the desk was highlighting, Crazy Guy in between maps, he comes up big again. He was so formidable on that Brimstone, on Bind. And now back onto that Sova here, popularized thanks to Domination from EG. Domination. You can see Bleed is happy to let Crazy Guy do his thing, and that he has done today. Already one away from the Hunter's Fury. Darion one away from the lockdown. Yoshi right there with that Rolling Thunder as well. So let's see if there's going to be Any orb congestion potentially. It's an A crunch.
उसमें होगा कि पता नहीं लीड में एक ही है थाईलैंड का वो ये स्कैरी है
71 health.
Home support तो उसको मिल रहा है ना
so very low that nade would kill. If he can't get out of the blast radius, then he does. Chipkin as well, trying to escape. They all somehow jump across, but the damage is just staggering. 3 players with 45 health across them. Torneko as well, chipped down to 77. Spleed not giving them
और 11-3 11-3 हारा गया था
3-11 comeback by
and they're so aware of the situation on the map.
एक HP और Sky भी दिए भाई.
Really punish these positions. Now with the trap wires already set up.
भाई 4 बंदों का मिला के भी 150 HP दिए बे.
Relatively clear. It looks like Alan's going to be going for a bit of a lurk.
4 बंदों का मिला के भी Cypher से कम HP है.
Still scary. Set up and spawn.
ज़्यादा HP पागल है क्या?
अरे बाकी 4 बंदे कहाँ 77 पास 317 कितना होता है? 77 23 is equal to 100.
Again with the judge.
122
और साइफर की पूरी HP वो कहाँ गई?
क्या बोला बाकी चारों की 4 जनों की और 4 जनों की मिला के भी साइफर से कम है बोला मैंने.
The spike will be snatched up here by Yoshi.
4 जन की हेल्थ मिला के साइफर से कम है. भाई ये जज पे आए.
Rotate to the spawn could potentially do some damage, but with 10 seconds remaining, they're just not going to be able to get to the A site. They will not be able to get this plant down. It's just a grab on the orb for Crystal to try to get closer to the Nightfall. And everybody else forced to save, bleed, will yet again find another flawless. As they are not even giving them a molecule of oxygen to breathe. There's just no space. They are absolutely suffocating them.
It's a vacuum. You're absolutely right. Bleed has created. And it is nigh impossible for any room, for any breath to be found. And the damage done, once again at the beginning of the round, comes back to haunt Scars. 4-0 start.
अगर 13-0 हो गया ना तो फिर एक चीज सेम हो जाएगी.
Where Scars absolutely
जेंकिन का बाइंड का स्कोर इनका फाइनल का स्कोर.
It's a near villainous grin.
भाई इसकी खुशी देख. कल इतनी फटी हुई थी ना क्योंकि कल 8-4 से कम बैक 3-9 से कम बैक. और आज एकदम खुला हुआ है भाई. खुला मतलब खुशी से खुला हुआ है भाई.
And he loves to look at that position, and yeah, scary. Swings out of the smoke, guns him down, blink and you miss it. You got 1 kill, but it's nowhere good enough. 5-0, the onslaught continues.
He's an absolute monster. Just when you think that position's clear because of the orbital strike. Right after, Scary just no fear.
वो देख रहा पहला गेम तब भी वो लोग 39 में आए. वो पिछले गेम में जो जेंकिन का नहीं चला 13-2 का प्रेशर ना खत्म हो गए वो लोग कुछ कर ही नहीं पाए.
That Scars is going to have to really
हो चुके उनका माइंड गेम की बात होती है ना ये गेम. माइंड गेम में हो गया.
So good previously. Look at Juicy.
Go for it. Yeah. Back up over the top. They should have a read on this one, but they don't want to spam out. They don't want to give their position away. Turn to the flank. Scary cleans up Yoshi as well. Space given. A weapon can be recovered here for Torneko to join in alongside the 2 Guardians, so maybe some more damage to be dealt. Scary down to 5 HP. This round, aside from the pistol, feels like the most possible one for them to try to pick up a win.
What do you do with all these ults? Hunter's Fury, Orbital Strike, lockdown. You have nothing to counter them.
Cage is thrown down to try to block off. In the meantime, they're just trying to buy some space and keep everybody locked on this A side of the map. Now, shot goes across. Torneko does find Nep, bringing it now into a 3v3. Spike can be planted.
Launching smoke. Very
good little linger there from him, and good distraction set up from the rest of Scars. To at least enable them to get the spike down and have something to defend. Thinking about the Molly, decides to save it. Crazy guy here in the smoke, the lockdown. Committed in, the push into the smoke. Crazy guy snaps onto his head. He takes him out. Now they have to respect this. They have to pull back away, but Scary gets the jump before he can escape.
Oh god.
Lockdown expiring. The orbital strike. He's absolutely demolished.
3v3 जिसमें उनको पूरा साइड कंट्रोल है बी का एंड ओपोनेंट का एक बंदा 5 एचपी पे है. फिर भी वो लोग एक भी नहीं मारा. उन लोगों ने राउंड निकाल दिया भाई.
An unstoppable force is Bleed right now. There is no friction against their movement. The vacuum they've created allows for this smooth, effortless flow. And it's just, again, these ults make it way too difficult. It's a pretty solid read here from the side of Scars. To get in that position, to work the map like that, to allow that space to be created over on the B side to get the plant. But what do? You don't have any answers. The only answer you have is to try to push that lockdown. And Crazy Guy's too good right now. He's too fired up. And Scary's just so aware of the positioning, how to find those perfect moments to punish off the back of not only Scars' utility, but in this round, utility. Fast hit with some
showstopper for him, and everyone's on back.
There's nobody over
Give them the space. The drone will come out. This showstopper actually didn't clear it, but Hunter's Fury now. Crazy Guy just fishing around, trying to spot
Crazy Guy being the easy
spot, but
of any
quite be able to get it
easy
done.
of Pacific. Only
spot
team
on
with
I think it was Crystal up here towards Dish.
Yeah, one was darted.
Yeah.
Done.
Just wanted to try to catch somebody
Okay,
in the side
Scary.
itself. Bootbot going to be cleared out. Then now another 50 players here. Sun goes across. Scary guns them down. Torneko off screen will find Crazy Guy. It's into a 3v3. Time still dwindling.
But plant ka
swing out. Neff going to be dealt with. 20 HP Scary. And Darian here to try to hold it. And Torneko just drags across and will be able to get himself a third to pick up the first round win for Scars.
It's deja vu on to bind. When the showstopper came in, or the ult just was completely left to its own devices by the side of Bleed, and they just play for retake. And this time around, once again, Scars able to hold the line here. Some good setup, some good shooting from Torneko. Make sure that they don't even need to get into that post-plant utility there. Try to cover that spike. So well handled. A good stun to get a couple kills for Scary towards Dish, but Scars now beginning to find some level of atmosphere. Maybe they can find some kind of landing for themselves to get back in this
Crystal
event.
watching around the back. It's just not good for the shot where he normally is. Juicy finds it, suspects there's going to be some more players nearby. Showstopper at the ready, does get cleared out up over top of the box. Where does he send it? Because if it's going to be close around this corner, oh, he might have been able to find something, but no, just sends it out blindly. Well, they look to start pushing back into Juicy.
But Darian,
he's backing off.
He can probably hear some of these footsteps around attacker spawn.
Oh, Crazy Guy.
Yep.
All the info that they needed. Just wait a second. And again, the double cage. Last time he did this was the fake over onto A, but they can just leave Darian to continue to watch that spot. Now the smokes get set up. Try to prevent the site take coming through. Rolling Thunder gonna come crashing across. Juicy taking out Jemkin. Does manage to find it there with the paint shell, but gets a parting gift to Yoshi.
30 seconds left.
Utility doesn't kill. Riot in Project A.
Site access just continuing to look like it's going to be denied here. Maybe Caterpillar is way up, but no. Scary turns back, spots him, guns him down, and now it's just Jemkin. Last identified in the halls. May just be his final resting place, whether it's a save or him dead. Backs away from
Riot
that
in
dart.
Project A, utilities doesn't kill, it just, gives you advantage in a, support.
Not going to be too
और पहले 2 kills,
whatsoever.
paint shells.
7-1. Now we're here in the opening half.
Oh, by
Oh, they know.
Oh my God, they know. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah. Well, this is just
when you wake up from a nightmare right before the boss is about to kill you.
That's exactly it. Exactly it.
Cold sweats.
Head उसमें तो सीधा उसकी सब कोई utility kill है भाई ult उसका head उसका.
Certainly, Scars is sweating. Crystal now with a nightfall. Alan still sitting on that neural theft. Hasn't really been able, since he's kind of solo lurking around.
उनके हिसाब से Molly is just to, you know, block the push.
उनकी Molly से block the push. की Molly से block तो कितने लोग मरते हैं भाई.
Brim की ult तो भूल ही गए हम. बोलना.
Come flooding out of it. They're just waiting for the smoke to dissipate.
Yeah.
Like planted, the disengage comes through. Launch up over the top. It's getting cleared. Blast pack entry. Juicy finds his way onto the side. Darian swinging out against both. Can't quite draw down the finish off Torneko. Jimkin will be able to find Scary. But Juicy now swinging around the opposite side. Tap in onto the spike. Torneko. Oh, the timing is absolutely perfect for him. Now leaves Juicy in the 1v2 clutch. Both players tagged up. 21 health. There's the jiggle. He wants to hold it to half, but Torneko threatens him off of it and finishes the job again.
Just imagine 9
Scars get around victory. Now a second one locked in, but they need to run this back to a 7-5 half if they want to have a hope.
I know it's hard. Bleed
another beautiful post plant here from Torneko. 9-7-3 on the stat line. He has been a big part of why they've been able to get these rounds.
एक मैच जीत गए ना तो अलग लेवल का एक्स्ट्रा मोरल मिलेगा भाई.
तो देखना पेट कैसे अंधों की तरह खेल रहा था क्रिस्टल. ऊपर वो मारा और वो अभी तक ऊपर भी नहीं देख रहा था.
So it was an adjustment from Scars to kind of read that
kind
of post play, or excuse me, that
moral down है, ठीक है. But just imagine if they make a comeback.
So far, but even despite all that, they're able to hold on just barely off that initial kill there off the Nightfall.
After a game like that, or ऐसे 6-0 start के बाद, they make a comeback.
Any of that utility able to get up into the tower.
A bit of a higher tempo push here coming through from them. Drone goes up over the top, gets the spot of the Torneko. They're just looking to spray him down. He's so very low. That's going to strand the spike as the dart goes in. Crazy guy shuts him down. Here she sprints across. Plant coming in, but the molly burns him out of it. So fast on the reply. Juicy now working his way forward. Jimkin will spot him, will kill him.
Oh भाई shockdown utility doesn't kill. दोनों kill उससे आए.
Scary, one more to go, and he's gonna. Okay, never mind. He has the orbital strike.
Oh no.
I speak, he makes it happen apparently. Swing out, crazy guy getting a bit whippy. Allen finds that kill. Now the Neuro Theft going to be used. Darian and Nep both going to be revealed. We know that they are just squatting on top of this spike. Pivot over to the flank. Allen, the quick turn, finds the kill. Darian, it finishes off Allen. Now he looks to reposition. Spike is going to be nabbed. He doesn't have any nanos to try to get him out of this spot. So the plant can come through. Showstopper at the ready. He's noted. The rocket goes flying. And
oh my god! Nice rocket.
Scars get themselves up to
उसने literally सोचा वो jump करके मारेगा उसका क्रॉसर देगा था. कहाँ का था
You may want to pump the brakes a little bit here if you're bleed. A few overheats.
वो कैसे पाब्लो की तरह सीधा चल गया.
This one's fine. You can trade Juicy there.
Cypher.
But especially with that ult from Scary being in play, gets caught peeking around the corner. And that was devastating. That gives them the hope, the opportunity to win this round. Showstopper comes through off the plant and able to secure the round. And you see Crystal trying to rally the troops here, trying to keep them in this. 2 rounds, a couple more. If they could swing this to a 7-5, certainly they're right back in this map.
13-5-5, that orbital still held. Neff rushing forward. I mean, talking about pumping the brakes. Bleed saying no. They try to press it even faster. The punish comes through. Flash is now gone. The fault line as well. Most of what you would have to slow up a take on a site has been ripped right out of Bleed's hands.
I think hoping to try to set up Juicy for a pick there off the back of Neff's utility to get that Showstopper in hand. Not going to happen this go around. Instead, they have to back off. Still have Scary's orbital strike in their back pocket. Torneko 1 away from his orbital strike as well.
Pinging down on Dish.
Yep.
Suspecting that there's going to be some presence there. Clear out close. Push forward as the smoke drops down here. As the Molly, just to try to lock somebody out of that cubby position. We'll be able to do so. Scary showing his hand just a little bit as far as his positioning is concerned. In the meantime, Darian still sat back on B, has that judge and is hoping that the pressure that his teammates are exuding is going to be enough to flush them into his opening arms.
Oh my.
As Juicy gets himself forward, spots one, gets the kill. Showstopper at the ready, but he's going to be burned down first. Now Orbital comes through, Scary sends it, looks for the kill. Paint Shells will finish him off though from beyond the grave. Jimkin gets the elimination and now it is all down to Darian.
पेंट शेल का ये लोग वो लिखवा के लाए रहते हैं क्या कि जितनी बार फेंकेंगे उतनी बार किल मिलेगी.
Over to the site, lingering for a little bit longer. Plant now through. The dart set up. Beautifully done here from Allen. Now they know exactly where he is.
हेलो कम से कम 4 राउंड तो आएगा.
This is near impossible for Darian and
सेव ही करना.
Yeah. Scars are going to get themselves now up to 4, 7-5. Very possible on the horizon, given the cash, the lack thereof here from several players on the side of Bleed.
This was a pivotal round here for Scars. Able to...
He wants that Phantom, but there's a trap wire in the way.
He's going to hear it.
And knows it now. Could just wait for a very last second sprint, clear it, and go before somebody is going to be able to play off the back of it.
भाई इस पे क्यों आ
गए? Just drift into him.
यहीं आएंगे ना बम फटने के बाद.
भाई बम कहाँ से पता है ना?
Manages to come away with 2 of them.
आदत होती है ना.
Softening up Scars a bit as we get ready to
दो
go into
तक भी नहीं आता भाई.
अरे आदत होती है
Still should
लोगों
be
की.
able to string together.
Swing करने की पीछे.
Pretty decent buy. Lockdown, that gives Darian his lockdown as well.
Torneco's got the orbital though to go ahead and completely take it out of the equation.
Exactly. Yep. So the counter's there. And how many from the grave paint shell kills have we seen?
At least
Couple?
3.
Yep.
3 in this map.
Still crazy though. 1 away from his
from the grave.
Fury.
Like डाल के मरेंगे.
So another big ult potentially coming for Bleed. If they can get this to 8-4, it'll be deja vu from the last time they played this map. The exact same score line. Can Scars claw closer? Get one on the board. Get one more on the board. Little slow push over towards Arcade.
Look at the stack here onto this B site.
Yeah, just scary right now.
Oh, Juicy on the jiggle. Does take a couple shots there. Scary thinking about, at least for a moment, the swing out. Now he's going to go right as the Hunter's Fury comes in to distract him. Yoshi taking out. Crazy guy gets Torneko. The orbital's gone. And now with the lockdown, there was nothing they could do to deny it. Plants it, you know, where a paint shell can land at it.
It's devastating, Achilles. I mean, again, 1 away from that Hunter's Fury. The space found, the orb taken, and the setup so nice. Off of the contact from Juicy. Able to line that up. And Crazy Guy, so far for me today, maybe the most impressive player for Bleed, despite so many impressive performances across the board. Crystal gonna find him though.
Okay, speaking of the devil, Crazy Guy will go down. Now they're going to be shifting their way back over here towards B. Lockdown used just to really ensure this, but already committed to it are Scars. Scary, holding down the spray, finds one, 18 seconds remaining. They need to somehow get themselves into this site. There is nowhere else to go. Right up above, Ellen needs to win the challenge. To do so, but can they still get the spike planted within the next couple of seconds?
क्या मतलब कुछ भी हो रहा है?
But Darian will drop the remainders.
The
Guardian with Bleed out in front.
Well, there you have it. Bleed there with such a nice setup. So well ready to play off that contact. Just beautiful. Knock that orbital strike out of the round. You can then use the lockdown when the time starts. How Scary, who knew Crystal was down potentially in that sewer. Ready for it. A little bit whiffy off the rip, but able to readjust and find that kill. Keep buying time. Allen with a nice drive-by, trying to do what he can. But at the end of the day, it is still Bleed on this defender side. And they will be, by the way, if we keep going, on the defender side to start every single map. And this has been where they have done their heavy lifting, where they've gotten their reps in.
भाई मैं टेढ़ा रखता हूँ स्लैंड बट ये तो कुछ ज्यादा ही है इसका भाई सीधा 90 डिग्री पे खेल रहा है.
On the precipice, they have the advantage once more.
तू कितने एंगल पे खेलता है कीबोर्ड ऑलमोस्ट? मैं इसके जैसा स्लैंड समझ लो 45
round wins away.
स्लैंड रहता है.
मेरा 45 to 60 डिग्री होगा वो तो
मेरा मॉनिटर भी स्लैंट रहता है.
हाँ वो मेरा भी थोड़ा स्लैंट है.
थोड़ा नहीं मेरा
इन लोग का है जैसे इन लोग का है ना टेढ़ा देख थोड़ा सा स्लैंट ये अपना कीबोर्ड मेरा भी उतना से थोड़ा ज्यादा है कभी-कभी. भाई वो तो 90 डिग्री घुमा के एकदम परपेंडिकुलर खेल रहा है भाई.
This round here
खेलते हैं बहुत सारे.
एक
बंदे को देखा मैंने खेलते हुए मॉनिटर मुंह पे नीचे जमीन जहाँ कीबोर्ड होता है वहाँ मॉनिटर ले आता है.
Perhaps they can extend this into an actual series
और नीचे हाथ डाल के खेलता है
उसको.
And this is a pretty interesting setup from the side of Scars. The Cypher heavy B hold looking directly for some of his arcade push. Recon dart out to check. And it's going to be on Darian to hold the line at attacker spawn. Big push coming, turret to back him up as it looks to be a pinch towards this B side.
Suspecting some trap wire setups here, none to be found. They are set up a bit deeper here. in towards B.
Right पे है क्या?
You see watching the smokes, the rotations now coming through. All 5 members from the side of Scars in position, ready to strike when necessary. Trap wires noted here by Juicy. Aftershock goes through, Spike is going to be planted. Gets a kill here on the Nap, starting things off with the paint shells. Prowler over towards Arcade. Checks, sees nothing. Boombot right into the face. And Jimkin will find yet another position kill. A second nade built up, gets set. Tries to set up the recon dart, will be able to do so. Gets a ping on a 3, but still has to back away. Swarm thrown up over the top, a little bit of damage found, but Jemkin has 3. And the defuse will come in. Scary, not in position, not nearly fast enough.
नहीं डाली क्योंकि टाइम नहीं था पहुंचने में टाइम लग जाता वो गया था बट टीम यहाँ मर गई ना तो इसलिए वो वापस भाग के आ गया क्योंकि केजे की मॉली पहले जानी थी
अबे केजे की था कहाँ है मॉली तो उधर ही से डलती है
A tricky one to get through, able to settle in behind the trap wire was Juicy.
ये था कहाँ इसकी पोजीशन देखने दे मुझे
That boombot around the corner caused some problems for him.
दिख नहीं रही मैप में
Not able to clear. There's a shock dart in that direction.
अंदर से जा रहा था क्या?
A little bit off or just deeper in towards spawn. Now Jemkin.
जहाँ पे वो खड़ा था मॉली डल जाती है वहाँ से.
Bulldog for Tornado, Spectres otherwise, a ghost in the sheriff. Going to be the big investment
समझ में नहीं आया मॉली क्यों नहीं डाली
for bleed on this round.
और अगर इस साइड भी होता तब भी डल जाती पता है मेरे को
हाँ आई गेस वो उसके लिए वेट कर रहा था क्योंकि इट वाज सपोज्ड टू बी केजे का लाइनअप ना बट जब बॉल आ गई कि
मेन था ना वो तो मेन से लाइनअप है आर्केड से लाइनअप है आर्केड से 2-3 लाइनअप है आराम से
जब उसको मतलब तब उससे पहले इसलिए नहीं डाला क्योंकि केजे का नैनो फॉर्म जाना था बट उसने बोल दिया कि ऑलरेडी एक स्टिक कर रहा है और वहाँ पे टीममेट वहाँ पे मर चुका है कोई इसको उठा नहीं सकता मॉली फेंक के क्या करेगा
अरे मॉली फेंक के पीक करता ना फौरन
They'll start to realize the reality of the situation.
Rushing in, Spike is going to come down. Allen's trying to spray through, gets a little bit of damage on the Juicy.
It is what it is.
Yep. Caught again. Backs away, tries to rush into the smoke. Will get cut down. Allen finding the kill. Drone being sent forward, coming out of Arcade side, looking to get the pimp. It's across on the 1. Nep has to back away, nearly dying to that aftershock. Molly's still here at the ready from the side of Scary.
He's holding it.
But yeah, they're just sticking to this one. They cannot clear him off
Smoke
of it.
करके भाई मार ही दिया भाई.
Now they'll look for a little bit more. Darian. Okay, they will do him a mercy and actually finish him off. I thought for a moment he wasn't going to die either way. That is a 2-0 start that Scars desperately need. Can they lock down this bonus as well to bring it within 1 round?
Now, this is a very important round here. I don't mind the idea from Juicy after getting spotted by that trap wire. Just, go for what you can. See if you can get a right click in there. Darian doing a little bit of damage from B main, but overall, Scars starting to get some wind in their sails, starting to feel themselves a little bit more. Marshall out for Tornado. He is to be watched with that. He can really do some serious damage. Trapwire is now deeper on both ends of B site. His bleed continues to try to force the issue on this side of the map, but there's fast rotation already coming through the other side. Crazy gets the headshot.
Just over the shoulder. So very close, but cannot find that elimination. After shock nade, now sent up here. In the tower, Allen chipped away at 73 HP, gets the dink, but not the elimination that he's looking for. 21 health remaining on the side of Crazy Guy as Crystal will get the jump out of Sewer, taking out Scary. We've seen how pivotal he has been for the squad. Jemkin as well. Left handle to good use. Headshot. Another one now goes across. Jemkin unleashed. And Scars will get the bonus win. One round away from tying us up here on Fracture.
All right, now we've got a game going. Jemkin's got that showstopper now to boot.
इतनी गोली खाने के बाद भी उल्टा नहीं घुमा.
Huge round here, and again, it's these fast rotations that bleed does not count
मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
Scary not ready for that
वो first round जो तू बोल रहा है ना कहाँ से आया उसका पाथिंग.
And Jemkin
वो टावर से निकल के आर्केड जाके पीछे से रोप लेके फिर आया मैं.
क्यों करा उसने ये नाटक? टावर से लाइनअप है नीचे से
उसको लगा आए बट वहां नहीं आसपास नहीं खेलना होगा उसको लगा टीम टाइम बाय कर लेगी ये तब जस्ट प्लांट हो जाता वो निकल गया था तब तक टीम खत्म हो गई लाइक प्लांट होते ही विद इन 10 seconds the team was dead.
Vector Stinger Sheriffs. Can they find any value? Jimkin now does have that showstopper for Torneko holding the line. Catches Crazy Guy first and foremost. Sends at the molly as well just to try to cut off that arcade side access into the site.
Cage triggered. Just a little change of angle there.
Triggered.
gets crazy this time. He'd won that duel the last round. Granted, it was a marshal.
Buyout कैसे आए
Still
भाई ये लोग?
able to find it.
8-7 हो गया.
Plant
Bonus
gonna
आ
be
गया
attempted.
मतलब उन लोग का.
Spring up towards tower, but still plenty of util at the ready. Nano gonna be thrown down. There's the aftershock, and gonna have to eat a bit of that damage there. Spike does get planted, and Juicy's down to 5. The swing comes through, though. The timing from Scary is absolute perfection. Neff taken out off screen by the showstopper in the meantime, but now we have ourselves into 3v3. The HP and the gun advantage very much in the hands of Scars. However,
ऐसे अपन अल्ट तो कुछ नहीं बोल सकते. CS:GO में भी तो है ही बे. ऐसे अल्ट का बोल सकते हैं. पेंट शेल तो CS:GO में भी है. उसका आफ्टर शॉट से उसका मॉली भी टूट गया भाई. KJ की मॉली टूट जाएगी आफ्टर.
He's trying to get some spam through, trying to find something, and he does find
Scary. Hello. He kills one. उस पे अल्ट भी आ जाएगी. आ गई अल्ट आ गई. खत्म है राउंड.
9-7.
अल्ट खत्म.
But still a brutal round.
It's still Scary again. Just finding these angles where nobody's ready for him. These Pacific controllers are absolutely just wonderful to watch. He's already got 20 kills. And it gets the orbital strike online to back it up. Jemkin trying to do what he can. Having some great shots here, but Darian clutch with that Sheriff. Still feeling good with that gun after being on a similar one with Chamber with the headhunter.
bonus पे.
And now you've got a bunch of
results here. Drifting निकाल दी उनके full buy पे.
Tornado does have the counter, but Scary's going to win the opener.
पिछले बार जो इसके साथ हुआ timing with respect था इसने कर दिया इस बार.
Can't win it. It looks like they're more than happy with just that. Leave Darian on a bit of a lurk here, perhaps. And everybody else starts drifting their way back towards the A site. Orbital from Torneko certainly could show.
यार देखना time लेके मारा भाई वो एक. अभी तक अपन होते तो at least दो
पता कितने slot है एशिया के?
All their pressure and attention.
क्या?
Watching for Darian.
एशिया के slots पता कितने हैं?
Kiss gets the time and catches him without the weapon at the ready.
कौन से में किसमें?
Drone now moving through sands.
Champion
Champion दो चार total एशिया Pacific के और दो China के.
Down to 66. Looking for a little bit more. Orbital strike now going to be sent through. Hunter's Fury out from Crazy Guy.
पूछा है कि ऐसा ट्रिविया ले जाता.
देखने दे मुझे.
Plant now coming in.
It's 4 from each. ठीक है. विनय वाले से 5 है. तो मतलब EMEA से 5 बाकी दोनों से 4 तो इस 13 and 2 3 चाइना से फिर I guess चाइना की कितने
You are wrong brother, not 1 not 2 3
China 3
he's taking a bit of damage, he's just eating through it. Neff with 2 off screen, Scary with the final, and we're into double digits. Bleed 3 more rounds to go.
And Scars invest their orbital strike in that round after taking Darian out of the equation.
टाइम दे दिया स्कैरी को बल्कि निकलने का मॉली भी डाल दी उसके ऊपर चल भी नहीं अब उसके
and eating right through that molly. Absolutely insane and scary.
वहाँ पे नॉर्मल 1v1 ले लेता जब उसका पावला आया था
from him to backpedal, set himself up to make the angle so much
नहीं
more
वहाँ पे
difficult.
कभी यार ज़्यादा ओवर सेफ्टी जाना जिगल फिर बूमबॉट फिर नेड निकल गया तब तक बंदा.
Hindsight is 2020. You look back on that moment and say if he was just a little bit more patient, perhaps he can get the quick tap, turn the corner, take Scary out before he's able to react. But you can't really hold him accountable for that round loss.
Thinking about the double back here is Bleed. After contact on that turret, Scary's going to be left to watch that. Here's that lockdown. So you either have to back out, try to find a way to clear this out of the sewers, and
there's just no way.
Yeah, you can't do it.
No way in hell. And maybe if Jemkin was there, he could try to really push through. And okay, they're actually going to eat the detain on the 2. But now right here in front of the site, spam across. Yoshi finding 1. Showstopper goes out from Jemkin, but it's not going to get the connection he's looking for. Kill not found. Crystal, however, Bucky in hand finds 1. Spike still not yet planted. Nade goes forward. Juicy just holding position as the spike is still down on the ground. Push into the smoke. Alan now all on his lonesome is only going to be cut for 1.
Papa GG है.
And Bleed.
पिस्टल को रे कार पे डिटेल हुआ है.
You can smell it in the air. That trophy lift is right on the horizon.
पिस्टल एक ले गया. वहाँ डिटेल होके ठीक है. फाइट डाउन है भाई.
And they will be
बहुत ऊपर
moving up to that upper echelon.
थोड़ा लेट हो गया, यही थोड़ा पहले डालता फिर भी जीत गए भाई, फिर भी जीत गए भाई।
To try to hide himself with that Bucky, they used the smokes to cover.
डेरियन को लगा कि वहां आएगा कोई, अलार्म बट डाला बट तब तक वो आ गया था यार।
Just completely
उम्मीद है
trying to do whatever they can to confuse Bleed, try to make them think that maybe there were opportunities for some free kills, maybe try to catch them pushing a little bit of aggressively, but Bleed really disciplined here so far today. Yeah, they lose one. 2 crystals. Bucky, Crystal gonna grab an orb, upgrade to that Nightfall. Juicy has a showstopper, but you got Rolling Thunder, Nightfall.
Brimspoke last 12 seconds ना, मैं भूल गया उसका टाइमिंग।
Bleeds.
ओमेन का 8 और ब्रिम का कितना है?
It's going to be an attempt here from Scars to use these ults to get some value. Now,
ओमेन का 8 सेकंड रहता है एक स्मोक, ओमेन ब्रिम का कितना रहता है?
Over the side, and it's going to be the showstopper to clear space to try to get this plant down.
12 रहता है ना, फिर 12
catching Nev.
Nothing been noted yet, but yep, very good kill. Nev going to be taken down. Juicy now looking to try to hold halls. Nightfall going to be coming through. Tells them at least where the fade is at. Now that they see Jemkin, they know that there's going to be 2 players pushing through main. Drop down off the rope. Scary. Maul's out too, but suddenly it's all on Crazy Guy. He drops down and finds one, but Crystal will be there to finish him off to get the defuse. Hand it over to Jemkin, it would seem. And Scars will stay afloat. They will not allow for Bleed to get to match point. Not quite yet.
Yeah, great quick reactions from the side of Scars in this round. Still fighting, not giving up.
Oh!
What he can is Crazy Guy, but that Nightfall able to isolate A main over there. And the full sense player, Super Bus getting a round of applause.
Oh yeah. अब तो कैमरामैन ने ढंग का काम किया है।
Seen him
हटा दिया।
a couple times ourselves. Now it's Scary though. Orbital strike at the ready. Maybe use it. Clear out the tower, clear out Jen. Something like that is what I'm seeing.
See what they opt for now. Quick clear on the camera. Not allowing for Alan to get that set up. Really garner information here for the team. Let me note it. A rough spray. Is able to clear out the drone.
Yes.
Juicy's just going to go leaping forward, and somehow it's Alan taking down Jemkin. Falling as well on top of Jen.
चुम्मी दे दी जाके।
The boombot in, the nades in behind him. There's just nothing more the Tornado can do except to die. Yoshi spraying across, finds one. He gets the enemy breach, but the spike is planted. Given the economy, they might just have to go for the save here. Tornado could purchase, but Crystal in a rough spot. Yoshi trying to see if he can get something done. Swings in, but there's nothing to be found. Juicy kills him off. Darren will get the final. 12-8 Bleed. Take this grand final to match point. One more round, and they will have punched their ticket. They will ascend.
And Achilles, they don't even need to use the orbital strike here. Just getting it done off some beautiful gunplay, some beautiful backup for Juicy to get onto the site to clear that space.
Stun किया है, but stun खत्म होने के बाद पीक लेगा तो यही होगा ना.
Certainly.
उसने stun किया है. Stun वाले पे भी इतना लेट पीक लेने.
अब जाके कैमरा वाला कैमरामैन सही काम कर रहा है.
She's like, all right.
It's been a tough day for Scars, but still 4 rounds in a row to get this into OT, but a couple stingers, a Spectre. It's a low buy.
The triple push. Looking for Scary. Nav answering one back. The turret will finish off Yoshi, but it's still going to be a trade up.
Hey, look at Instagram नीचे दिखाना है. जैसे players का दिखाते हैं.
Coming through. Darian about to be revealed, about to be blown up perhaps, but still manages to get a party gift on the one. Crazy Guy now on.
उनका भी Instagram नीचे दिखा हुआ है. जैसे क्या बोलते हैं? लिस्ट का दिखाते
into the realm of possibility. The 1v1. The Sova versus the Cypher. The
ठीक है भाई, Crazy Guy.
Not playing anywhere near it.
खेल कहाँ रहा है वो?
Spike down वो spike लिया नहीं.
अबे वो साइफर कहाँ खेल रहा है?
ये वही तो यही पे तो था.
I think he might be waiting to see, perhaps if he's gonna rotate into him, but he's playing away from the spike. That's gonna tell him everything he needs to know.
Here he goes.
He's gonna go for the rope himself now. 2 shock darts.
Yep.
And a recon in 8 seconds. Crazy Guy situated in tower. Could be the one to clutch this.
No, Crazy Guy, no.
To get them over the line. He drops. What's he seen? It looks like the answer's no.
Oh my God. Timing.
The 3-0 You have absolutely earned it. A 3-0, the clean sweep here in front of the hometown crowd. Scary helps get them over the line.
चूम लिया भाई, चूम लिया.
Beautiful performances today from everybody. Crazy guy having just a wonderful, wonderful day on all three maps. Juicy doing a great job.
कल नहीं, कल से रात को सोया था, ठीक है?
Always so good.
Me close the stream now.
So many